Hello everyone. So first of all, let's check whether you hear me well or not. Is the sound okay or not? Let's go ahead and let me introduce some technical parts. So connect to the internet directly if possible. I recommend you to wear microphone and headphones, and also refresh your web browser if you have any problems, okay, during the webinar. Okay, now let me introduce myself. I'm an Ethiopian and I'm a language expert. I represent Karhanyan Online School. I teach English and TOEFL for about 8 years. Okay, so today we'll be speaking about TOEFL iBT integrated tasks 3 and 5. I know that speaking is the weakest point for most of you, and I try to design my class the way that it will be easier for you to practice and to find out all the peculiarities and all the difficulties of the speaking. Okay. Now our lesson objectives are as follows: to study some note-taking strategies for questions 3 and 5. You'll practice paraphrasing and summarizing, which are considered to be part and parcel of this task. And you will revise phrases for total speaking integrated task 3 and 5. Okay? I hope it is clear so far. If you have any questions, don't hesitate and ask me anytime you wish. Okay. Now about integrated task 3 and 5. In this task, you will read, listen, and then speak. So in this question, you will be asked to read a short passage and then listen to a dialogue on the same topic. You'll have 45 seconds to read, and you'll have 30 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to record your answer. Okay? So you see that you don't have much time. You must be very attentive not to lose any minutes. Okay. Then about integrated task 5, it is listening and speaking. So both of them are based on campus situations, but the difference is that here in task 5 you won't read, you'll just listen and speak. In this question, you will be asked to listen a conversation and explain a problem as well as the solutions that are proposed. Here, be attentive. In task 5, you will be asked to represent your point, yes, your understanding of the problem. You will have to support one side, okay? Again, you will have 20 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to record your answer. Okay. Okay, so I hope this was clear, what you are going to do. Now about note-taking, paraphrasing, summarizing, and synthesizing. So these are the 4 main skills, yes, which you have to develop for accomplishing the success. So about note-taking, I really would tell you, and I will give you the chart by which you will know how to do it. And about the paraphrasing, I would say that this is the skill that you must develop by revising, by always paraphrasing different kind of sentences. Summarizing is the skill that it comes by itself. When you have accomplished the high level of English, it can be automatic, okay? And synthesizing is the combination of all those skills. Now about note-taking strategy. I have designed this chart, yes, and I would like you to have a look at it. Take notes in question 3 this way. From the reading, you must take notes on the main ideas. So what is the idea? What is the problem? Yes. What is the change? And then 2 reasons for that. Don't forget about reasons. sometimes people lose points because they don't concentrate on reasons as well. But I recommend you to concentrate on reasons as well. Then you will have to name two reasons from the listening. There will be man or woman, yes, who will support or won't support the change. So you must tell whether he supports or he doesn't support, and why he supports or why he doesn't support by reasons. Here, conclusion, you can include conclusion if you have time, or you can omit it if you are short of time, okay? And about note-taking strategy of question 5, it's like this. You will have a problem, yes, and then you will have solutions to the problem. There will be two solutions. So while taking notes, write down the problem, yes, of course using abbreviations. Abbreviations are a lot of help for note-taking. And then two solutions for that. After that, you will state your opinion. What is your opinion? Which solution you like best of all? Okay? And then why you liked it. I hope this note-taking strategy was clear to you. Okay, was it? Okay. Then let's go ahead. About word repetition. Now I would read this short passage to you, and I would like you to tell me which word is repeated very often. This problem is really global because a lot of people do this. I recommend you not to do this way, not to repeat the same word all the time, because word repetition, it shows that yes, Samsam, you're right, it's student. It shows that you don't have enough skills of the language. You don't master the language. A student interviewed many students about what it is like to be the only child. If the teachers in the charge of the school paper did not edit names of the students from the paper or facts that would give that particular student away from the other students, that serious problems could be caused for the students who gave their information. So here we see that the word student is repeated too often. Now I want you to tell me, instead of student, what other word, what other synonyms could you have used? What other words you can use instead of like a repeating student all the time? What other words? Yes, so what other nouns? Candidates, yes, sometimes it can be a candidate interviewed, or in the first, you can, in two sentences, you can repeat at least twice, but not more, okay? Okay, candidates, peers, counterparts, great. So you see that if you search in your brain, you can find a lot of synonyms, yes? Okay, other versions, are there any other versions or no? Okay, if no, I will go ahead. Okay, I will present you my version. So, okay, sorry. Yes. A reporter interviewed many students about what it is like to be the only child. If the teachers in the charge of the school paper did not edit the individuals, yes, so you see different names from the paper, it is not necessary. It would be likely to be synonyms, but it is not necessary to be synonyms. There can be other, like representing, you can paraphrase it, yes? Edit individuals from the paper or facts that would give each person away to the readers. Then serious problems could be caused for the students who gave their information, okay? Okay, so you have seen that only twice the word student is repeated. In other places, yes, I replaced the same word with the synonyms, okay? Now let's practice paraphrasing. But before doing it, I want you to tell me, what is paraphrasing? Who can tell me? What is paraphrasing? Okay. So paraphrasing is using giving the same meaning as in the sentence, but with other words and with other grammatical structures. So using different words, there can be synonyms, there can be the same like expressions, yes. Yes, using your own words, but sometimes it is it is very important in paraphrasing not to hinder, yes, not to distort the meaning. So stay within the meaning of the sentence, but represent it with other words, with synonyms, and it is also preferable to give various grammatical structures, okay? Now, and about summarizing, it is giving the same meaning, yes, but shorter. You can just make it shorter, so the same idea, but shorter than the original. So summarizing can be different than the original, but paraphrasing must be within the scope of the original, okay, sentence. Okay, now I want you to do both of them. First, paraphrase the sentence, and then summarize it, also paraphrase. I'm reading this passage for you, and I have identified the most important information here. Sculpture courses to be discontinued. University administrators announced yesterday that the sculpture program, a division of the art department, will be eliminated. The main reason is a lack of student interest. Reporter one administrator. Although the number of art students has increased, fewer and fewer art majors are taking sculpture classes. Furthermore, the department only sculpture professor is retiring this year. Given the art department's limited budget, the administrator explained, it just doesn't make sense to hire a new full-time professor to teach sculpture for only a handful of students. The university will cancel the sculpture program because students don't like it and the soon-to-retire professor. So this last sentence was somehow unclear to me, Sam. So first part was okay, like the university will cancel the sculpture program, yes, because students don't like it. It's okay. But what about the soon to retire professor? Can you explain it to me? The department only sculpture professor is retiring this year. You can say because of the retirement of the professor, or because the professor retires. Okay. So okay. So I have underlined you two main reasons. Yes. So it is very important not to miss these reasons. So the main idea was university administrators announced yesterday that the sculpture program and division of art department will be eliminated. This was the main idea, elimination. Then why? Because of lack of students' interest. Second reason, because of the professor. Yes, because the professor retires. Okay, so they don't have, you can say lack of professors, or they don't have professors, and lack of students. So these are main things that you have to paraphrase. The professor will retire. Okay, yes. Yes, now you're right, Samsam. Okay, this is okay, but I would like you to change it somehow, not to give me the same information that is in the passage. The same you should do in the exam, not the same like information. You must change the main ideas, okay? Okay, now I can show you my example. The sample example can be like this. The announcement from the university states that the sculpture program will be abolished. Okay? Will be cancelled, will be postponed, yes? Will be cancelled, will be abolished, okay? There are a lot of synonyms for put off, yes? Call off. There are, you can, if you think of them, you can find out a lot of synonyms. Supporting that students don't show interest, and second, the only professor for the subject is retiring. This much you must mention about reading, okay? You mustn't concentrate too much. Was it clear, this part, how you should do it? Now I would like you to concentrate more, because we are going also to do one more short passage, and after that you will listen to a conversation. Okay, let's go. So, bus service elimination plan. Now I want you to read this short passage, summarize with one sentence. After that, you will listen to the same topic, yes? And then you can write, or even you can talk.
Number 3. In this question, you will read a short passage, listen to a talk, and answer a question about them. After you hear the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare a response and 60 seconds to record the response. The university is planning to eliminate its bus service. Read the article from the university newspaper about the plan. You will have 45 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now. Now listen to two students discussing the article.
I don't like the university's plan.
Really? I've ridden those buses, and sometimes there were only a few people on the bus. It did seem like kind of a waste.
I see your point, but I think the problem is the route's out of date. It only goes through the neighborhoods that have gotten too expensive for students to live in. It's ridiculous that they haven't already changed the route, so it goes where most off-campus students live now. I bet if they did that, they'd get plenty of students riding those buses.
Well, at least they're adding more parking. It's gotten really tough to find a space.
That's the other part I don't like, actually. Cutting back the bus service and adding parking's just going to encourage more students to drive on campus. And that'll just add to the noise around campus and create more traffic. And that'll increase the need for more parking spaces.
Yeah, I guess I can see your point. Maybe it would be better if more students used the buses instead of driving.
Right. And the university should make it easier to do that, not harder.
The man expresses his opinion of the university's plan to eliminate the bus service. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Begin to prepare your response after the beep.
With one or two sentences, the main idea, yes, and the reasons for that. The reasons for changing the idea. Okay. Only, yes, the university will serve only cold breakfast. So this is the main idea, the change. Instead of hot breakfast, there will be cold breakfast. Why? Because first it is what? Healthier, yes, it is mentioned, because it's healthier. Then it saves money. It is healthier and it saves money. So students you can say this way that the university announced the change of hot breakfast to cold breakfast because this way it is healthier and it saves money. Okay, so these are the two main things. Okay, now let's go to the listening part.
Number 3. In this question, you will read a short passage, listen to a talk, and answer a question about them. After you hear the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare a response and 60 seconds to record the response. The university's dining services department has announced a change. Read an announcement about this change. You will have 45 seconds to read the announcement. Begin reading now. Now listen to two students discussing the announcement.
Do you believe any of this? It's ridiculous.
What do you mean? Well, it is important to eat healthy foods.
Sure it is. But they're saying yogurt's better for you than an omelet or than hot cereal? I mean, whether something's hot or cold, that shouldn't be the issue. Except maybe on a really cold morning. In that case, which is going to be better for you? A bowl of cold cereal or a nice warm omelet? It's obvious. There's no question.
No, I'm not going to argue with you there.
And this whole thing about saving money.
What about it?
Well, they're actually going to make things worse for us, not better. Because if they start cutting back and we can't get what we want right here on campus, well, we're going to be going off campus and pay off-campus prices. And you know what? That'll be expensive. Even if it's only 2 or 3 mornings a week, it can add up.
The woman expresses her opinion of the change that has been announced. State her opinion and explain her reasons for holding that opinion. Begin to prepare your response after the beep.
Okay, so now state the reasons of the woman why she opposed the idea. What reasons she brought. And of course, don't forget about summarizing the reasons and paraphrasing them. I hope that while listening you take notes, because this is of immense importance. If you don't take notes, you won't be able just to answer it correctly and precisely. The woman disagrees with the announcement because hot breakfast is more convenient than in cold morning. Yes. So, yes, the woman opposes because hot breakfast is, yes, more convenient and more healthier, you can say, than cold morning. She opposes also, she also said that, for example, they say about healthy food, but yogurt, cereal, they are not healthy, yes? So she also opposes this. And the second reason? You can start like this. The woman opposes the announcement by saying that hot breakfast is more convenient and you can say warming in cold morning. Okay, then the second reason. What was the second one? It was about saving money. She opposed it by saying that this will cost students more money, yes, because they will buy their need off campus. Okay. They don't find their needs. Yes, you can say that they won't be stuffed enough, yes, so they won't be satisfied enough and they will go off campus and they pay more money this way, wasting even much. Okay, you can just organize it this way. Okay, thank you. Yes, I liked some your the way you wrote. It's okay. This way only I didn't like by their need of campus. Uh, this doesn't sound good. Yes, you wrote find their needs or they will satisfy their needs. Let's say like this. Okay, they will satisfy their needs off campus. Now this is English. Okay. Now let's go to integrated task number 5. I hope that number 3 was clear to you. Of course, yes, yes, this makes things worse. This was exactly she said. Okay. So anyway, you must practice a lot on these tasks because they are integrated and you must be all ears to hear each detail, yes, not to miss any details, yes, even a trifle. Key phrases for integrated task 5. You can start the integrated task 5 like this. Remember, it is listening and speaking. The problem is that according to the lecture, one solution is like this, announcement, the one solution is like this, the second is like this. Another possible is 2. I think that the best solution is this because it seems to me that it's the best solution because. Okay. Now, the best and shortest way also to give your solution is using conditional type 2. Unreal, yes, unreal present. If I were the woman, I would choose the first solution as. So, in first part you have if clause, yes, if plus past simple. Then main clause, would, could, plus bare infinitive, okay? If I were the man, I would choose the first solution. If I were the woman, I would choose the second solution as, and then you must give the reasons why, okay? So you listen. What is the problem? And which are the 2 solutions? You mention the problem. You mention the 2 solutions. And then you say which solution you support and why. You can give two reasons for your support, or if you don't have time, if you see that you are short of time, you can give one but well organized. Okay, one. Okay. Now let's practice this. Be very attentive not to miss.
Number 5. In this question, you will listen to a conversation and answer a question about it. After you hear the question, you will have 20 seconds to prepare a response and 60 seconds to record the response. Listen to a conversation between 2 students.
Hey, Marnie, what's wrong?
Oh, I'm just struggling about what to do. I won an award from the Creative Writing Institute for a story I wrote, and...
That doesn't sound like anything's wrong.
Well, it's a huge honor to win, and there's an awards ceremony they've invited me to attend, which I'm so excited about, but... And here's what's frustrating. I've got a biology exam that's scheduled for the same time.
Uh-oh. Well, have you talked to your professor about this?
Yeah, she said I could write a 5-page paper instead, and I have lots of ideas and know I could do a good job, but...
But what?
Well, writing a paper would take up so much time, a lot more time than studying for and taking the exam. I have lots of other schoolwork to deal with.
Oh. Or you could have someone else receive the award for you. I mean, go in your place and accept it on your behalf.
Maybe. I'd still get the award and the money that way.
Ooh, you won money too?
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? But anyways, my parents were really looking forward to coming and seeing me on stage shaking hands with the Institute's president and all. I'd hate to disappoint them.
True. I'm sure they're really proud.
Like I said, I'm still struggling about what to do.
The speakers discuss 2 possible solutions to the woman's problem. Briefly summarize the problem, then state which of the solutions you recommend and explain why. Begin to prepare your response after the beep.
Okay, so now you have 20 seconds to prepare. Try to first, like it says, briefly summarize the problem the speakers are discussing. So what is the problem? And then state 2 solutions they give. And then you support one of them and why you support. Okay, so it sounds a lot of work, but you should manage. Okay. Okay, so what was the problem? The problem was that the woman received a prize, yes, an award. And at the same time, she had exam, biology exam. So the problem is that the woman won't manage, yes? So you can say in the first sentence, the woman's problem was that she couldn't manage. You can't manage. Problem is that she won the award. This is not the problem. Yes, the problem is that she couldn't manage to get the award she won. Yes, the woman couldn't manage to get the prize she won as she at the same time she has biology exam. Okay, so the man suggests to see his professor, yes, and to see his professor and write a paper, or she could send someone instead of her. Okay, so this was the 2 solutions that he recommended. So which one you will choose and why? You can say that if I were the woman, I would choose the first one, though it is boring and it will take a lot of time to write a paper, a lot of effort and a lot of time, but this way she will be able to be present to the award, and his parents would be proud of her. Okay, and she could manage to get the award, and the parents would be proud of her. So more or less you must summarize this way. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Okay. Okay. Listen to the next one.
Number 5. In this question, you will listen to a conversation and answer a question about it. After you hear the question, you will have 20 seconds to prepare a response and 60 seconds to record the response. Listen to a conversation between a student and her geology professor.
Mary, I'm so glad I ran into you.
Oh, hello, Professor Jensen.
Listen, I know it's short notice, and maybe you've already made plans for spring break, but one of my students just dropped out of the field trip to the Smithson River Caves. You're next on the waiting list, so now there's room for you to come along.
You're kidding. I didn't think there was a chance, and, well, it's a 3-day trip, right? I agreed to spend next week helping Professor Clark set up the new museum exhibition. I think she's really counting on me.
Yeah, 3 days. But you know, if you'd rather come on the field trip, why not speak with her and see if she has anyone to replace you?
Yeah, I'd hate to miss out on the caves. I'll definitely ask Professor Clark if there's someone else who could help her.
You know, we don't leave until Wednesday. If you still have to help out, any chance you could get the museum set up done before then?
Oh, yeah. Not until Wednesday. So then, yeah, maybe that's possible too.
The speakers discuss 2 possible solutions to the woman's problem. Describe the problem and the 2 solutions. Then explain what you think the woman should do and why.
Begin to prepare your response after the beep.
So I hope it was clear to all of you. So the problem was, which was the problem? Who can tell me which was the main problem of this conversation? So it was that the professor offered the student to go to the field trip. Yes, but the student, at the same time, the student had already promised to help the other professor. So this was the problem. She couldn't manage. Yes. If it is the problem, think about it. Don't mention just words. Say that the problem was that the girl couldn't manage to go to the cave trip because at the same time she promised to help the other professor. So what were two solutions? The professor offered her to talk to the other professor and find out whether someone else could replace her. Yes, if there is someone who could replace her. And then second, she could manage to help the other professor earlier. Yes, so she could do everything very fast and help the professor earlier. Manage till Wednesday. And then you must say your opinion. If I were the woman, I would choose the first solution because, or if you can think of the second, you can please choose the solution that is easier to explain. For example, if you choose the one and you are unable or you can't explain the reason, it makes no sense. So just try to choose the one that really you think can explain. Okay. For example, I think that here the best solution will be second because it is easier to explain. Why the second one? If I were the woman, I would choose the second solution because I will manage to do everything very fast, yes, and I can both help the other professor and go to the trip. Okay, so you can manage two tasks. Like this is the main idea that if you choose the second solution, you can explain that you will have time to manage two tasks. Yes, no one will be disappointed, no one will be sad or upset. So the first one is a bit, you can explain, but it's a bit difficult to explain. Okay, so try to choose the one that you think is easier and suits you, best of all, the one that you can manage to explain. Okay. Okay, so I hope that everything was clear. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to give it to me. Now, the lesson objects one more time. I hope that you study some note-taking strategies. And of course, I, and not only I, all the TOEFL teachers say that it is indispensable part of question 3 and 5 to take notes. Even if you are an advanced learner, take notes. Brain can sometimes let you down, so what to do if it happens? Notes can help you. You can turn to your notes anytime you wish. Then practice paraphrasing and summarizing and revise some key phrases for TOEFL speaking integrated task 3 and 5. I hope that we accomplished each step and you learn somehow paraphrasing and summarizing, though it is more vividly seen in integrated tasks. Okay. Okay, so thank you all of you for being a part of our class. And as I have already told, I represent Karhanyan Online School. In Karhanyan Online School, you can learn various languages, computer programs online. You can register in our website. It's Karhanyan. It's karhanyanschool.com. Or you can join our Facebook group. The name of it is Karhanyan Online School. Okay. So thank you very much and see you. Bye.